Hi there, welcome to Terraland Soap Opera. Today I'm going to do a reading for Virgo energy, and like usual, we're going to do two rows. The top row is referred to as high vibe Virgo energy, and the bottom row is a more worldly, shadowy Virgo energy, because we've all got our dualistic nature and we have to make decisions in our life, in our free will, and in our more worldly nature, we could make a decision that could be more based out of fear, insecurity, or pride, or ego, or lust, or greed, or just wanting to stay in our comfort zone. And high vibe energy could be when we have some more hope and faith and belief in ourselves and in our dreams and have healed or looked at life differently. So we're going to look at it from a couple different perspectives. Some people are happy with their life the way it is. Some other people want to move forward in life differently. When some people move forward in life differently, some other people maybe don't like it. Other people wish you peace and love and joy. We have different people in the world we could hang out with, and we could have people in our life that are aligned with our more hopeful, believing nature, want us to grow to our full potential, free ourselves from things that manipulate us. And we could have other people in our life that want us to keep hanging out with them, but they might be people who are more aligned with our more worldly nature, and they want us to stay in relationship with them, but we might have a problem doing that or continuing to do that. So the reason for the top row's reading is the Magician card, which is Gemini Virgo energy. Believing in yourself, believing in your dreams, not wanting to be manipulated by your more worldly nature, kind of tapping into that creative, inspired aspect within yourself, believing I have all the resources to begin to manifest my dreams into reality, which we all do, because it all kind of starts in the imaginative realm of what we believe is possible. And in the top row, we have the Eight of Cups, the Knight of Wands, the Virgo Hermit, and the Fool. Well, the Eight of Cups can talk about walking away from things that we could find confusing. We all live our life a certain way, and it's all about trying to help us get clear about our truth. And sometimes we can go pursue things in our life, and then we kind of find it confusing. It isn't what we thought it was. Maybe people that we're dealing with are kind of confusing, try to confuse us about what our own truth is, try to stop us from listening to our intuition. And in the Eight of Cups, we have to offer ourselves that cup of love. The Eight of Cups is walking to the Nine of Cups, which high vibe energy is about being more independent, less codependent energy, learning how to love and believe in yourself, work through some of your fears and your insecurities, just to be more independent in the world. So these things of the world within ourself, our fear, our insecurity, our pride, our ego, and other people and the world at large isn't manipulating us. Not wanting to be caught up in the illusion, in the superficial, in the shallow. Wanting to just be more independent in the world. Kind of shining our own authentic light and investing our time, energy, and effort into the things that really kind of motivate and inspire us and aligned with our truth. And then the Knight of Wands and then the Virgo Hermit is kind of being inspired to get to the truth, because our own Virgo nature is the aspect of ourself that kind of looks at those things that we maybe hadn't wanted to look at. The things that do manipulate us. The things that stop us from the Fool card. Kind of taking a leap of faith. Believing in ourselves, loving ourselves, believing in love, believing in our dreams. And we get inspired to do that work. High vibe Knight of Wands and Sagittarius energy is about higher learning and education. And there could be a part of us, in our more immature Sagittarius energy, that's kind of like, oh, let's not do that. Because it takes work and effort. You have to invest time, energy, and effort to look through those things that you kind of prefer to keep hidden in the dark. If I am kind of immature, if I am kind of have these things I like to go indulge in just to make me feel better, why don't I just go do that? But The Eight of Cups is Pisces energy, which is about our intuition and our dreams and what we think would be emotionally fulfilling. And so, though there could be a part of us that's kind of tempted to just want to make our life about indulging ourselves, maybe doing life the way we've been doing it, because we're inspired by a dream and wanting to just maybe be more independent, not letting these things manipulate us, it stops us from repeating an old pattern. And instead, we get inspired to do this work within ourselves to look at, why would I be tempted to keep doing things the way I've been doing it? Why do I kind of give in to certain vices or certain patterns and ways of living my life or relationships that I get into? I do want to go on this new journey. I've lived my life like that. I feel like I've probably learned everything I can learn from living my life like that. I'm ready to face my fears and move forward in life differently, because once we kind of do this work within ourselves about why we wouldn't move forward, then we kind of come out with the truth. I see why certain things manipulate me. I see why I do certain things. And if it's left me confused, or I do feel it's more emotionally shallow or a superficial way of living life, and I've already seen the truth that I don't find it fulfilling, or I do feel things or people are manipulating me, and I don't want to do that anymore, because we've seen this truth, and maybe it's just believing that we're capable. I do have the resources to maybe go apply for that new job, or go on a new journey, ready to go out in the world a little bit more or something, and ready to go on that new journey. But before we get to that point in our life, we could be tempted to want to keep living our life the way we've been living it. And there's going to be some people that are living their life the way they've been living it because so far they're not ready to walk away from it. And they could keep kind of giving in to indulging themselves in living life the way they keep living it. And sometimes when we're ready to move forward in life differently, some other people in our world aren't ready to move forward in life differently. And partly it can be because they might not want to do that work it takes to look at the things that manipulate them. I don't want to see the truth of it. We all have the free will to stay in denial of the truth because the truth sets us free. And we'd have to be inspired to even want to put in that work and effort. We'd have to be kind of confused or something about the way we're living our life to even want to go on a new journey. And sometimes when we or other people are ready to move forward in life differently, we and others aren't ready to move forward in life differently. So, we're all on our own journey. We all have times where we are ready to move forward, when we're not ready to move forward. So, just listen to your intuition about where you're at in the story and where other people are at. So, we can be tempted to live our life the way we've been living it, which is in the Three of Pentacles, is Capricorn energy. We could be in a certain job, certain friendships, certain relationships, living our life a certain way. And there's a lot of good things we could like about it. We don't have to walk away from anything. We don't have to do any of this inner work. We don't have to do life any differently. And so that's why some people are going to keep living their life the way they are living it. In the bottom row, we have the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Wands, the King of Pentacles, and the Ace of Cups. And the way I read tarot is the kings can represent how we present ourselves in the world, how we like other people to view us, how other people could view us. And the King of Pentacles would be, it looks very stable, very grounded, very successful in a lot of ways. But the queens can represent how we really think and feel. Sometimes some people are presenting themselves in the world as a very stable, grounded, emotionally mature person that people should want to go into business with, hire, date, and marry. And for some people, they're in those jobs, they're in those relationships, they're in those marriages. But the Queen of Cups, we can love. There can be things in the world that we love. There can be people in our life that we love. But the Queen of Wands could be our more creative, inspired, fiery nature of, this is great. I do kind of like this job. I do kind of like how I live my life. My friendships, my relationships, whatever. But there's a part of me when someone is holding the one pentacle, it's kind of like we could feel like we're presenting ourselves in a way in the world that looks very victorious and successful in a lot of ways. But is it really aligned with my truth, or am I just kind of ready for change? Can we change things up? Can we quit investing in some things and ways we used to live our life to kind of go on a new journey? Just like, oh my gosh, if every Friday night we go bowling, can we not go bowling on Friday night? I'm really tired of bowling. Can we go just do something else? Kind of like expand our horizons, kind of step out of our comfort zone. Let's go explore some new things in life. And maybe the Pentacles can talk about maybe our own unique talent, skills, and interests. And there could be some things that we would maybe like to, that kind of inspire us, that we would like to invest more of our time and energy into doing and exploring some of those things, because they do kind of spark our more creative, inspired nature. We could have learned that we like something that we want to keep pursuing that we didn't even know we liked before. Like, I guess an example in my life is, until you have some more life experience under your belt, you don't even maybe know what some of your unique talent, skills, and interests are, and things that you never would have thought you'd have an interest in because you just weren't at that age level, didn't have that life experience. But I know with me, I had gotten into like these great big flower beds around my house and everything, and it was just like, wow, I could really. It'd be really fun if I was in a really small community at that time. If I lived somewhere where I could work with people who do landscaping, or have gone to school for landscaping, or, you're older and you watch these TV shows maybe about interior decorating. Like, I would have never thought I would get into landscaping or even interior decorating. But as you learn these things, it kind of, these new talent, skills, and interests that you weren't even interested in before. But as you go through life, there's new things that you start to get interested in, and you kind of maybe realize you kind of got a knack for it, or it's something you do that you kind of get kind of in the zone about. It's kind of sparks your creativity and your imagination. And I kind of think we grow up in the world and we kind of get indoctrinated by the world. Like, this is what you should love. This is what you should invest your time and energy into. The world tries to tell us, that we should make our life about these certain things. And if you do those certain things, those things will make you happy. And a lot of those things do make us happy. And in our fiery nature, there are all these things of the world that we can be driven and motivated by. But I think just as you go through life, you kind of you just kind of come more into your own self. And again, you go through these life experiences to try and meet all these different people and different jobs and relationships to help you get more and more, learn more lessons in life, get exposed to more things in life, help you get more and clear about what your truth is. And then I think as we get older, we're starting to learn more about what really is kind of aligned more with our truth. And we're willing to live our more authentic life. And that's what I view high vibe fire energy is about. We can be all kind of just fired up about things about the world and more about ourselves and ego and image and money and status and all that stuff. But as we go through life, we kind of come into our own about things that are really maybe more unique to us, that maybe no one else in our family, our city, our town, our country is even motivated and inspired by. And are we willing? We have our own life journey and our own unique things that I think we were meant to kind of contribute to the world. And we just don't know that, for the first couple decades of our life. it takes all learning all these lessons in life and getting exposed to all these different things. And then if we're willing to be, high vibe energy is about being more independent, of really being more independent in the world, listening to my intuition and what really kind of motivates, inspires me from truth and love and justice and fairness and creativity, to really do those things and invest in those things and have some hope and faith and belief that if I was given kind of unique talent, skills, and interests, or things that I'm kind of passionate about, that's part of my soul calling in a way. Am I going to listen to that or am I not? And if we were to live our life the way we had been living it, there's people in our life that would probably like to be in a relationship with, that we love, that can have love for us. But if they're not willing to go on that journey with us, and kind of like where we all, nobody stays the same. There's going to be people in our life that are going to move forward with us, even as we change and grow and look at life differently, because they have love for us. And, you can go do your own unique things and I'll do my own unique things. And maybe you'll kind of go on a new journey. I might kind of stay here because I'm happy with my life, but we can still love each other and enjoy each other's company and connect with each other. It's a little more difficult, maybe, and more challenging in a romantic relationship, because we can all kind of have these ideas of what we thought it was going to be like to be in a romantic relationship. And if some people are kind of more, I thought we were going to make our life more about the world. And I thought this is how we were going to live life. And this is how I like to live life. And they might not be someone who was more inspired to live their life differently. They might already have known what their career field is or what really drives and motivates them. But if you start to kind of learn what motivates, inspires you, or what was your career field and what motivated and inspired you has shifted, some people might not like that. And some people in the Queen of Cups can be, I have this way of living life and viewing life, and this is how I want to do it. And if you want to go do things differently, where you would kind of step out this comfort zone and you want to move forward in life differently, for me to move forward with you, there might be things they have to walk away from in order to move forward with you, because maybe some of those things would require you. Sagittarius energy is also about travel and relocation. Maybe it would require from a big town to a small town, or one part of the country or world to another part of the country or the world. And maybe, that's not their truth, and that's not how they want to live their life. And maybe it would require them to look at some of their fears and insecurities about why they're not willing to kind of go on this adventure with you. And some of those people is like, I don't even want to do that. I don't care. I'm okay with whatever manipulates me, that makes me live my life the way I live it or the way I view life. I'm okay with living my life the way it is. And I'm maybe willing to let you go. You can go. You can go do what you want to do. I am happy and comfortable living my life the way it is. And, if that's friends and family members, that wouldn't be that big a deal. You live your life, I'll live my life. But if it's a romantic relationship, it can definitely be a problem. And then sometimes we can be in a relationship with people for a long time, and we can be putting a lot of work and effort to have the stability and security and these things from a worldly, more focused vantage point that we want to accomplish in our life. And then maybe as time goes by in a relationship, we could start, if one person's more motivated to keep and build a life more operating from a foundation of love, and love does kind of grow and mature over time, and it is going with the flow, and it is, healing and growing and changing during your life, we could feel like we're in some relationships where we kind of end up realizing that some of the people we're in a relationship with, the foundation they like to build their life on is more maybe about themselves or these things of the world, or more about ego and image and conforming to the world than being more independent in the world. And in our dualistic nature of our Gemini Virgo energy, it's kind of like, what is our long term goal? Some people's long term goal is the most important thing, and that what drives and motivates them is having a certain status and image and wealth or whatever in the world, or indulging in certain things. And if other people, that it's more about love and creativity and inspiration, is like, we're not on the same page. And that's when we can kind of realize that what drives and kind of motivates us at a core foundational level is different. Some people aren't so caught up in those things of the world. Yeah, we all want stability and security and enjoy some of the finer things in life, but I'm not willing to disregard my more creative, inspired, intuitive, loving nature for those things. But some other people could, because here we have the King of Pentacles kind of turning their back to the cup of love. I'm kind of more motivated in my Leo energy, is what I view the Queen of Wands as. I'm kind of more motivated by these things of the world. That is what I love. That could be how I define my worth and value and what I find enjoyable. And really manifesting from operating from a foundation of letting love and intuition guide me. Some people could think that's fantasy land. You got to be practical, you got to be grounded. Maybe live more from your mind than your heart. And some people, their heart and their intuition and love is what motivates and drives them. And other people, it's the world or themselves or ego and image and money materialism that drives them. And then we realize we're kind of in a mismatched relationship. And even though we could love them and we don't really want to walk away from them, shadowy energy can be where we feel like it becomes oppressive and confining and imprisoning and restrictive, because it isn't free to live your more authentic life. It can start to feel like it is just because of the ego or the image or these things, and nothing ever changes. It kind of becomes dead energy because people can keep repeating an old pattern that they're happy with, and other people are like, I think I've learned everything I need to learn from this phase of life. I'm ready to go to the next phase of life. And other people could be, yeah, but that would require I have to step out of my comfort zone and go into unknown territory. And I don't like to do that, because then the only guidelines I have is like love and intuition to guide me. And I maybe don't even believe in that. We're supposed to make our life about these things of the world. What are you, a lunatic? Why aren't you making your life about these things of the world? And sometimes some people, even though they are a more creative, inspired person, we all can be tempted by those things of the world. We can stay in jobs we don't really like. We can stay in friendships and marriages that we're not quite happy in, that we could find confusing or superficial or shallow. But some people will stay in those situations because we have a hard time overcoming our more worldly nature and these things that we want in the world and are about our ego and our image. And we're not really willing to live our authentic truth. So you might know some people that are living their life, investing in what they want to invest in. And some of you decided, I need to move forward. And the people who want to move forward with me in that way, wonderful. The people who don't, I wish you peace. Then as you move forward in life, I think you would communicate to other people who you think are kind of on the same page as you. Some of those people might need to take some time to think about, gee, That sounds great, but that means I might have to walk away from certain ways of living life or viewing life or a way of viewing relationships. And I'd have to have hope and faith and belief and just let love and intuition guide me. And I would maybe have to detach or making my life more about the world. And I could be in friendships or relationships with people or have certain jobs where I seem to have everything that people could want in the world. But if those people are more on the same page as you, it's kind of like, let's go on this adventure. I did the self reflection and I'm ready to take that leap of faith with you and quit making my life about repeating these old patterns or making my life more about the world. And I'm going to go on that adventure with you. And for some of the people that you communicate with, we can't wait forever while other people are trying to decide if they're going to move with us or not. Because sometimes those people are kind of like, can I manipulate you? Will you not move forward and I can kind of keep doing what I'm doing and you just stay here kind of like waiting for me, which I don't know if, but you just stay there and I'll go do this. And then if one day I decide I want to move with you, then I'll move with you. And it's like, well, that's unjust and unfair. And we listen to our intuition. It's like, if people aren't moving forward with us and they keep moving forward with however they're living their life, then we need to see the truth of that. Actions speak loudly. And we don't know if some of those people that we might have communicated with, if they're living their authentic life in just and fair and balanced and loving relationships. And that's why they're not communicating and taking action to move forward with us in this way. That could be one possibility. Another possibility is maybe we weren't seeing them clearly and maybe they're not really on the same page as us, and maybe they are still kind of more caught up in these things of the world, uh, have an old way of viewing life or living life or how they view relationships. And if they have people that they can be in relationships with that will do that type of relationship with them, then that could be why they're not coming with. And it's like, I can't let things manipulate me. If people were motivated and inspired to come with me, they would come towards me and communicate the truth to me. And if they're not doing that, then I just have to assume they're on their own journey, high vibe, low vibe, worldly vibe. I don't know some people well enough to know what drives and motivates them. Other people, I do know them well enough, and I've been in relationship with them, and I did see the truth. I offered them love to come with me in this way, and they chose not to. Okay, I'm going to go on a new journey. What's coming up for the people who harness some high vibe Virgo energy that they might not see coming up? The Queen of Swords, the Ten of Cups, the Six of Wands, because of the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Swords can talk about, we can be hurt that there's certain people that aren't moving forward with us. We wanted those people to be in a long-term, emotionally fulfilling relationship with us and move forward with us in the Six of Wands. In this more creative, inspired, and then high vibe Leo, the Six of Wands and the Queen of Wands I view as Leo energy, where people are more inspired by love and they're being authentic and warm and loving and kind of have freed themselves from their more worldly, shadowy, fearful, whatever nature to be open and loving and hopeful and believing. And that's just not where some people are at. Life is about learning lessons, and a Knight of Wands would be less mature than a Queen of Wands. Some people aren't ready to take a leap of faith. Some people don't believe in themselves. Some people are still defensive to being more authentically themselves. Some people are more about consumed with the world. Some people are kind of prideful or stubborn, in order to move forward in life differently, you have to get out of your pride and your ego and your fears and your insecurities. You got to be willing to do this work. You even have to be inspired to want to do the work, or even have an interest in looking at life differently. And some people are like, I don't even look at life the way you look at life. I'm happy living my life the way I do it. So we offer ourselves love for the fact that we could be sad that some people aren't coming with us. But because of looking at life from a higher perspective in the Queen of Swords Aquarius energy, it's just seeing things from the big picture. Everybody's got lessons to learn. Everybody's on their own journey. People inspired and motivated by different things. And you choose to give yourself the things that you wish other people would give you. I'm going to keep going on my journey. I think what will be emotionally fulfilling is to keep moving forward in this hopeful, believing, loving nature, not making my life more about conforming to the world, or maybe indulging someone in their ego, or being in a relationship with someone who's more motivated by these things of the world as a driving factor in their life. And I don't want that to be the driving factor why I stay in a relationship and why other people might want to be in a relationship with me. Because we can also have people who want to be in a relationship with us, but they could be more motivated and inspired to be in a relationship with us because we're kind of victorious or successful, or you're an attractive person, or you're very in high vibe, you're a loving, nurturing person. But are they? I want to be in relationships with other people who are motivated and inspired by love. And sometimes we got to look at why am I in relationships with people, and why are people in relationships with me? Is it love? Or is it, well, this is good for my status and my ego and my image? Yeah, is that why we're in the relationship? I thought it was supposed to be love. And some of them could love you. They just aren't willing to maybe be more independent. They could have other things that manipulate them, other people in their life that they have love for, that maybe they're kind of codependent on. But like, if those people don't move forward in life differently, they're not going to move forward in life differently. We're either willing to live our own authentic life, know how to fill our own cup emotionally, instead of looking to people outside of ourselves to be our sense of emotional stability, and know our own worth and value, or we make the world dictate to us what makes us have worth and value. And we go live our authentic life inspired by truth and love, and some people aren't there. And I think as you keep moving forward in that way, there's going to be other people. Well, some people will be mad because they did want you to stay in a relationship with them and live your life the way they wanted you to live their life, whether those are siblings or friends or family or romantic interests. And there's going to be other people that have been waiting for you to take that leap of faith so that they can be in a relationship with you. Because if there's always other people in the world who have kind of learned some lessons that don't want to make their life more about conforming to the world, and they've been waiting for other people to quit being manipulated and making their life more about those things, or codependency, indulging people maybe in ego, being manipulated in our ego, and they've been waiting for other people to work with that are more on the same page as them. And as you go forward, there's going to be people who see that you're on the same page as them, and as you move forward, you're going to see other people who are more on the same page as you. And then as you're moving forward, there's going to be people who want to try to stop you. Don't go on that new journey and love and believe in yourself. Can I tempt you in your more immature worldly nature? Can I be the next person to indulge in a relationship with you since you walked away from someone else or something else? And I think you'll take time to get to know what their truth is. You will tell them what your truth is and how you're moving forward. And some of those people will be like, oh shit, yeah, no, I just thought, I just thought maybe, you wanted to go indulge in something. It's like, I've already done indulging in my life. I've now learned to stand up kind of for what I believe in and don't want to play games and make decisions more out of lust or greed or pride or ego or codependency. I want authentic, loving relationships, and no, I'm not interested in indulging. And then some of those people or other people you meet will do this work to see if they're willing to move forward with you in that way. What's coming up for some people who harness maybe a more worldly or shadowy Virgo energy that they don't see coming up? Whoa. Okay. We have a card not showing itself, and the reason it came out is because of the Chariot card. Well, so shadowy energy and more worldly focused energy can be people who are operating more from their defensiveness to being more authentic and inspired by love. They might live more from their mind than their heart. They might use their emotions and their sexuality and their resources to get people to be in a relationship with them, but they want those people to maybe make their life, let's make our life about these things, or you make your life more about me. I have this way of living life, and I want you to live your life like that. And we maybe never step out of that comfort zone to ever do anything any different. And eventually, people who are like that, and they could be maybe a little more superficial and shallow, they could be kind of manipulative, they could be kind of bossy or controlling, they could be full of themselves, they could think if they have these certain assets or traits or looks or whatever they got, or they're just full of themselves, they should think that, well, you should want to love them and make your life more about them than it being a more just and fair relationship where you have your things, they have their things, and you work cooperatively together. And some people are like, no, it's kind of more about me. It's like, okay, well, they're going to have some high vibe people who leave their life. Because those people, the Chariot is Cancer energy. I am motivated more by love, and I've been trying to offer you love to work through some of your fears or insecurities or self-limiting beliefs, to be more inspired to go on a journey in love as the driving factor in life and why we work together in a relationship. And some of these people are like, ooh, I'd like to, but that would require that I kind of do some of this inner work to figure out why I don't do that. Why do I defend living life a certain way that I'm unwilling, I don't know, heal, grow, mature, expand my perception of myself and the world around me, be willing to take a leap of faith and love? And eventually they're going to have some people leave their life. So what they don't see coming, High Priestess reverse. Well, the High Priestess can talk about kind of sitting back and observing, seeing what action people are taking in their life. You know, if we're offering people love and encouragement to be in just and fair and authentic and loving relationships, you know, we can sit back for a while and kind of observe people to see, as we're offering them that love and encouragement, what kind of action do they take? And if they keep turning their back to taking more inspired action in truth and love, you know, after a while, we've seen what we've needed to see, and we're kind of done, and we're ready to move forward with or without them. And some of these people could be surprised because, you know, with Capricorn, 2 Capricorn cards here, and Capricorn is Earth sign energy. In shadow, it's kind of represented by the devil, but it kind of can represent that people have a lot of these things that people in the world would be attracted to. And they could be surprised that some people are more motivated and inspired by love than these things of the world, because they could be more motivated and inspired by these things of the world, and they maybe wouldn't leave a relationship regardless of what the relationship was like, as long as it had those things. Because maybe they, shadowy energy, it's tipped out of balance, and which can be, you're kind of more, your judgment is more clouded by these things of the world that are important to you than a more equally balanced perspective and love taken into consideration. And some people are like, I view the Queen of Cups as Scorpio energy. And some people could think, I want to be in a relationship. And some people in shadowy Scorpio, life's just about death, sex, and taxes. Who am I going to have sex with? I might not want to be in a relationship with people who are more bold and brave and confident than me, people who want me to work through these issues to free myself from them or to be more authentic or vulnerable in a relationship. I think I'll just go get in a relationship with someone else. And, they could, at this point in their life, think sex is sex. And they could think just indulging themselves in a relationship, that's living the dream, not where I have to grow up and mature or heal myself. And I think, if they keep living their life like that or viewing life like that, more creative, inspired people by love are going to leave relationships with them. And eventually they might be in a relationship where people aren't connected in with the high priestess is Cancer, Pisces energy, where people aren't really listening to their intuition or connected in that much with their emotionally intuitive, loving nature. And then they could harness this energy in a more shadowy way. It's kind of in Cancer energy, regardless of what zodiac sign they are. They could be people who try to present themselves as loving people, like I like to present myself and have people view me as a loving person. And in a lot of ways, they can be loving and nurturing, but they don't really authentically do love. Because love is about growing and healing and changing and maturing over time and going with the flow. And they're like, no, I like people to view me as loving so that people will get in a relationship with me. And then I like to play that role in their life. And I might like to play that role in relationships with people who haven't really learned to love and believe in themselves. And then they view me as a loving person. That kind of is good for my ego and my image. But they have to keep not being inspired to really love themselves, because then they're going to want a more equally balanced, just and fair relationship. And I kind of like an out of balance relationship. Like, I'm the parent, you're the child. I'm like the boss, you're like the employee. And you be codependent on me. Don't listen to your intuition. Don't love and believe in yourself. Don't shine your authentic light. Stay in this relationship with me because of all these reasons and view me as a loving person. It's just that authentically loving people do want you to grow to your full potential. They do want you to love and believe in yourself. They do want you to heal and grow and mature yourself. And that's why we can get in relationships with people, and it can be very confusing because we start to kind of realize that, yes, I can have love for them and they can have love for me, but they don't want me to go live my authentic life. They want me to keep repeating this old pattern where I might stay more codependent on them or just stay in a relationship with them for the ego or the image or the status, but it's not really living my truth. And initially I thought it was my truth, but as time went by and as I started to heal and grow and mature myself and look at life from a higher perspective and, be inspired to step out of my comfort zone and spread my wings in the world, they didn't like it. And it was like, then they turned their back to me. If you do that, then maybe I'm not going to have anything to do with you. It's like, well, that's not love, right? So they might end up in a relationship with someone who is more like themselves. Again, people who present themselves as loving people in the world, but it is more for the status and the ego and the image. And other people want more truly authentic, deep, meaningful relationships. So there you go, Virgo. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.